The sharp crack of a branch snapped John Parker awake, his hand flying to the rifle beside his bed as moonlight sliced through the curtains. He held his breath, ears straining in the stillness of his Texas ranch house, the clock ticking 2:37 a.m. Another snap, closer now, beyond the porch, and then a low, guttural growl that wasn't the wind. He rolled out of bed, boots hitting the floorboards, his burned arm throbbing from the barn fire days ago. Out here, on his 200-acre spread, the night hid predators, four-legged and two, and John knew both could kill. He crept to the window, peering past the lake's silver gleam, and saw it. A shadow moving fast across the water's edge. Too big for a coyote, too deliberate for chance. Someone was out there, and they weren't lost. He pulled on his denim jacket, the fabric stiff with soot and sweat, and grabbed his Stetson hat, jamming it low over his silver-streaked hair. The rifle felt heavy in his hands, a soldier's comfort, as he stepped onto the porch, the cool March air biting his lungs. The lake shimmered under a half-moon, its surface a mirror for the stars, but the pastures beyond were cloaked in shadow. He scanned the horizon, the east fence glinting faintly where he'd mended it after the rustler's cut. That growl came again, low and menacing, followed by a splash, something big hitting the water. John's scoot tightened. Trouble didn't wait for dawn, and he wasn't about to let it stalk his land unchallenged. He saddled Dusty in the barn, the chestnut mare snorting as he tightened the girth, her ears twitching at the night's unease. "Steady, girl," he muttered, patting her flank, his voice rough from lack of sleep. The ride to the lake took minutes, the hoofbeats muffled by the soft earth, the air thick with the scent of wet grass and pine. He reined in at the water's edge, the shore muddy from recent rain, and dismounted, rifle ready. Tracks scored the dirt, boot prints, deep and staggered, leading into the shallows. Beside them, a cigarette but lay half-buried, its paper stained yellow. Caleb Wheeler's brand. John's jaw clenched, rage simmering beneath his exhaustion. That punk was back, and this time, it wasn't just cows he was after. A rustle in the brush yanked his attention left. He swung the rifle up, squinting into the dark, and caught a glint, metal low to the ground. A trap, its jaws snapped shut on nothing, baited with a chunk of raw meat. Poachers? Or distraction? He stepped closer, the mud sucking at his boots, when a splash erupted behind him, louder, deliberate. He spun, heart hammering, and saw a figure bolting from the water, a dark shape hauling something heavy. "Stop!" John roared, firing a shot into the air, the cracks splitting the night. The figure stumbled, dropping its load, a burlap sack that hit the shore with a wet thud and vanished into the trees. John ran to the sack, his limp flaring, and sliced it open with his knife. Inside, a dozen fish flopped weakly, their scales glinting silver. Catfish, big ones poached from his lake. He cursed, kicking the bag into the water, the ripples spreading wide. This wasn't rustling. This was personal, a jab at his control. He scanned the trees, the shadow gone, but the cigarette burned in his pocket. Caleb, or someone under Wheeler's thumb, was testing him, wearing him down. He rode back, the lake's edge fading behind, and tethered Dusty in the barn. His mind churning. Dawn broke slow, a gray smear over the pastures, as he brewed coffee in the kitchen, the deed from yesterday's fight still locked in the drawer. He'd barely sipped the bitter brew when hoofbeats sounded. Mary Ellen Carter, riding up on her gray mare, a rifle of her own slung across her back. She dismounted, her braids swinging, her face etched with worry under the brim of her hat. "Saw your light," she said, climbing the porch steps. "You're up early, or not sleeping again?" He handed her a mug, steam curling between them. "Caught someone poaching fish from the lake. Caleb's mark all over it." Her eyes darkened, sipping the coffee. "He's pushing you, Wheeler, too. After the fire, now, this, they want you rattled." John nodded, leaning against the rail, the rifle beside him. "Kids want me out, too. That deed's got a hole. Linda's name still haunts it. They're gearing up to sue." She set the mug down, firm. "You've got proof it's yours. Fight him, John, court, Wheeler, all of it. You're not alone." Her words hung there, a quiet strength, and he met her gaze. The tension between them shifting, something unspoken since that kiss in the firelight. Before he could reply, a truck roared up, Old Man Wheeler's beat up Ford. The man himself limping out with his cane, Caleb smirking at his side. John straightened, hand on the rifle, as Mary Ellen stepped forward, bristling. "Parker," Wheeler rasped, stopping short of the porch. "Heard you had a rough night. Fish trouble." John's voice was steel. "Your boy left his calling card. Next time I won't shoot high." Caleb laughed, lighting his cigarette. "Prove it, old man. Lake's free game ain't fenced." Wheeler cut in cold. "Sell, Parker. My buyer's impatient. You're losing cows, fish, maybe more. Cash out while you can." Mary Ellen snapped. "He's not selling to you or your vultures. Back off." Wheeler's gray eyes flicked to her, venomous. "Stay out of it, widow. This ain't your fight." John stepped down, towering over them, rifle loose but ready. "It's hers if I say it is. Get off my land, both of you." Caleb blew smoke in his face, smirking, but Wheeler tapped his cane, signaling retreat. "Your call," he said, limping back. "But you'll regret it." They drove off, dust clouding the dawn. John turned to Mary Ellen, her presence a balm against the storm. "Thanks," he muttered, and she nodded, mounting her mare. "Watch your back," she warned, riding off. Midday brought no peace. John rode the herd, checking fences, the poacher's traps still gnawing at him. When a sleek black pickup rolled up, Jake, Sarah, and Matt, faces grim. They climbed out, Jake leading with a lawyer's letter in hand. The deed's claim, now a legal blade. "We're filing," Jake said. Voice hard. "Court'll split this place. Fair's fair." Sarah's eyes softened, then hardened. "You're drowning, Dad. Let us save it." Matt stayed quiet, but his nod stung. John pulled the deed from his pocket, holding it up. "This says mine. Divorce left a mess, but I'll fight you every damn step." Jake sneered. "Good luck, old man. We got Mom's signature, too." They left, the truck's rumble fading, and John sank onto a stump, the deed trembling in his hands. Dusk fell, the lake glowing orange, when a new sound hit. Hooves fast and heavy. Tom Carter, Mary Ellen's estranged son, rode up, a hulking 35-year-old with a drunkard sway, his face twisted with rage. "Stay away from my mom," he slurred, dismounting, a bottle in hand. "You're trouble. She don't need you." John stood, weary but firm. "She's a friend." "Back off, Tom." Tom swung the bottle, wild and sloppy, and John dodged, grabbing his arm and twisting it down. Tom hit the dirt, groaning, and John stepped back, breathing hard. "Go home," he said, voice low. Tom staggered up, cursing, and rode off, leaving a shattered bottle in the grass. John sat on the porch as night deepened, rifle across his lap, the lake a dark void. The poacher was gone. Tom sent packing, but the shadows grew. Wheeler's threat, his kid's lawsuit, Tom's fury. He'd held his ground, but the cracks widened. Across the water, a truck's lights flickered, then vanished. Someone was still out there, and John wasn't done fighting.